best sex between two willing adult partners occurs surely when one or both parties have achieved a certain level of comfort with their significant other. And guys, this fact is even more true for your average woman than it is for your average man. You may or may not already be aware that statistically, men enjoy one-night stands much more than females do, statistically. And not only that, but women are statistically less likely to achieve orgasm during a one-night stand than they are with a steady partner. Well, guys, there's a reason for this, and that reason has a lot to do with comfort. So this, that is achieving a maximum state of comfort, occurs at different rates for different people. As a man, surely you want your partner to be as relaxed as possible with you as she can possibly be. And yet the problem is that sometimes some people, in this case women, never seem to be able to fully relax enough even after a reasonable amount of time has passed within an exclusive relationship. Well, here are, in general, a handful of things that you as her man and as her sexual partner may want to try doing to help your woman feel relaxed and comfortable around you when it comes to, quote unquote, doing the deed. So in totally random order, here we go. Number 1, compliment her. Okay, so to some of you out there, this might be like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many couples, not couples, but people who have just met each other, end up in bed together and not a single word is said from either side. Not a single, compliment in either direction. I mean, trust me, it happens. It happens more often than it doesn't happen. So while a few of you out there might be surprised, I think if you really think about it, most often it does not happen, especially with one-night stands and people that you don't really know too well or have not become fully comfortable with. And it's not just about complimenting either, it's about a specific type of compliment. And by the way, this can go a really long way. Trust me, it's not just like one of those, this is gonna maybe do something a little bit, who knows, maybe it'll do something. No, this is gonna go a long way, trust me. Okay, so here's what you do. Talk to her, make sure she knows beforehand, during, and after how incredibly stunning you find her. Make sure that she knows how much you desire her and how much you enjoy your intimate times together. It's all about making sure that she knows that you find her hot, okay? Whether she prefers, dirtier language or cleaner language, it doesn't matter. There's still a way that you can tell her that. You can tell her she's beautiful, or you can tell her she's smoking hot. It doesn't matter as long as you just tell her, convey it to her somehow. However she likes it, however she prefers it. Dirty talk is not inherently going to be a good or bad thing, not inherently. It all depends on the woman and what she likes and what turns her on. So you can try different things to see how she responds, or you can straight up just ask her. That's your decision to make, however you want to go about it, however you feel more comfortable, however you think she'll feel more comfortable. But now, back to what we were saying before. I know this stuff is out of order, but there's a reason that I made this particular point 1. It's because, and there's a bit of a secret I suspect that a lot of guys aren't really privy to. A woman has the best sex of her life when she feels like she's attractive. Just trust me. A properly phrased compliment at the right time, or times, because it shouldn't just be once, it goes a long way. The thing is that making her feel beautiful and wanted, it helps both comfort and quickness to orgasm if she's able to, clear her mind of everything else that's going on in her life, her work, her dogs at home, or whatever, her family, her problems with her best friend. She's able to clear her mind of all that junk and just be in the moment, and then she hears a compliment that just like blows her mind, that just makes her feel like the hottest woman on the planet. She is going to she's going to feel it. She's going to feel it physically. It's not just emotional. She's going to feel it physically. It's going to be through the roof. Okay, just trust me on this one. It may not happen the first time. You may need to get the hang of it with a new person. It's not going to be the same for every person by any means, okay? So don't try this once with one person that you're sleeping with one time and say, oh, that girl, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. That advice chick, I do know what I'm talking about. And it's just a matter, it's not going to happen like the first time you sleep with someone, okay? At any rate, let's move on. Number 2, let her know without any doubt that your desire for her does not start in the bedroom, and nor does it end there. As a woman, there's very little more off-putting than a man who, once the deed is done, it's as if a switch has suddenly been flipped, and just like that, he goes from being this suave and sexy, guy to this indifferent nerd who won't be likely to even notice you again until the next time he has a hard-on and wants to get his rocks up. As women, this has a tendency to make us feel rather undesirable, regardless of how charming and alluring you were in the bedroom. That particular rug gets pulled out from under our feet too soon after sex is over. It may as well have just never happened. All of those sweet nothings you whispered to us, essentially, they go out the window. And on the other hand, if you make even the slightest effort to keep the romance alive for a little while longer, for example, let it last throughout the day, hold her hand, or throw her knowing, secretive glances and smiles every now and then, the adverse effect occurs, and often tenfold. It's not like that you need to cuddle or anything like that necessarily, but rather make her feel that you had a special moment and that you are thinking about it, and just let it linger. Think about that. Let it linger. Try it. Let her know that you're thinking about it and tantalized by it still. This will make her feel sexier than ever. Guaranteed. Similarly, for many of us women, sex doesn't begin when the clothes are flying off either. Women love foreplay, sure, but I'm not just talking about physical foreplay here. Oftentimes a bit of mental foreplay can work out just as strongly for getting her in the mood as physical touching. I mean, the more you guys have exchanges like this, the more she's going to relax, the more comfortable she's going to feel. If she sees you're comfortable too, that'll make her more comfortable. Make her feel sexy all day. That's all I'm saying with this point. It'll help, believe me. If it doesn't, then she's already comfortable, or else, I don't know, you're dating an alien. Number 3, make realistic attempts to communicate with her on an ongoing basis about what in particular she likes or how she likes it. So let her know it's not just okay, but encouraged for her to let you know on her own terms what makes her feel good, and so on. There's not much to elaborate on because that pretty much says it all. As for why it's important, or why it helps her relax, or why it helps her become more comfortable with you, it bolsters communication by you telling her, hey, it's okay, and it's not just okay, but I encourage you to do this. Please do this because it helps me. Then it lets her know that, next time maybe she shouldn't feel so shy about it, if that's the case that she does. Some women are shy about this stuff a lot, and some women are not at all. And then you've got your in-betweens. And if you feel like there's not enough communication, namely, let her know it's okay. And you could do that by directly just telling her, or you could do it by, communicating yourself. I'm always usually more of a fan of the direct method, but not all people are. I'm aware of that. So just do what works for you guys. When you're in the heat of the moment, here's your third alternative to the other two ways, if neither of those appeal to you. While you're in the heat of the moment, just ask her, do you like that? Do you not like that? And that will hopefully encourage her to become more vocal about it on her own without being prompted over time, depending on how shy she is. Maybe she'll do it the very next time, or maybe it'll take a few times. I don't know. I'm a fan of communication in this way. I don't understand it for the life of me, why couples, especially long-term couples, just couples that have been together for ever, that have never talked about this at all, that don't know it. It's baffling to me. It's just absolutely baffling. There's no shame in it. If you're doing it, you can talk about it. I mean, you talk about it. You need to encourage her to be open if she's not. Because how else are you going to know? How else are you going to know how to please her? And this will, of course, like I've been saying, it'll increase her comfort level, because she'll know, oh, you know what? It's okay with him if I talk about these things. It's okay with him. He doesn't care. He's not gonna go running for the hills. You know, if I start to talk about it, he's not gonna think I'm some kind of weirdo or some kind of whatever. But yeah, it's important. Talk. Talk about it outside the bedroom. This is super important. Your goal here is to make her feel comfortable, or like it's as no big deal as possible. And if she sees that you're comfortable with it, this will work to increase her comfort level and nonchalance about it too. That's kind of what I was saying before about the last one too. So don't be afraid yourself to approach the subject nonchalantly with her, even when you're not caught in the heat of the moment. Not only does this increase comfort, for both of you, but it may work as a little bit of flirtation as well, if done right, or a certain way. I also want to add real quick that just the nonchalant aspect of it, I mean nonchalantly, like don't bring it up in public, don't bring it up around people, but when you guys are in private, just by nonchalant, I just mean like as if it's not a big deal. That's all I mean by that. By doing that, you're kind of paving the way, the road. You're showing that it's not a big deal. She might be sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal. It's such a big deal," and she knows. You're like, "So, babe, what'd you think about like last night? It was pretty hot, wasn't it?" Like, that's gonna show her that, dude, it's not a big deal. Move on to number 5, which happens to be let her call the shots, or let her know it's okay or you like it when she does. So another big put off is that man who acts like in the bedroom it's his domain. He decides what and where we're going to do it, as well as for how long and all that. He decides what positions we do, when we switch positions, and so forth. One reason some women might be afraid to speak up about what they like, don't like, fantasize about, wish they could change, etc., is because, she's scared of being judged. So, obviously, to counter this, simply show her you won't judge her. Possible, have a positive reaction to what she says. Alright? Make sure you're aware of your reactions and make sure that you're in control of your reactions. Don't just react. Think about it just for a little bit first, for a split second, and then react positively. Make sure you're being positive, because the last thing you want to do is scare her away even more if she happens to already be scared. Last thing you want is to scare her away, period. Contrary to popular belief, women enjoy their sex lives too, or they have the capacity to. They're not gonna, if you tell them how to enjoy it all the time, or how they should enjoy it, and then frown on their enjoyment if they should be enjoying it in a different way than you want them to enjoy it. They're gonna start hating it, plain and simple. You gotta give her freedom in bed. So instead, be the guy who lets her call the shots. Not all the time, of course, but just, at least make it 50-50. I mean, without putting her on the spot, of course. If she's not used to calling the shots, and perhaps maybe a little shy about it, forcing her to do this by putting her on the spot can actually make her feel actually worse, and in fact quite uncomfortable, which is opposite the goal that you have in mind, right? So make sure you don't put her on the spot. That's another thing. Back out a little bit. You don't want to be that guy who calls all the shots. You want to let her call the shots sometimes. You don't want to put demands on her. If you like something, suggest it. Don't demand it. Tell her you like it. That kind of thing. But don't force her to do something. Never ever force a woman to do anything, okay, in bed, like, especially. That's terrible. You won't have a girlfriend for long. And, don't put her on the spot, like we just said. And by that, I guess, if we're going to talk about in practice, that would mean, if you bring something up, you want to let her call the shots tonight. Let's say tonight, honey, it's all up to you. We're doing whatever you want to do. If she doesn't jump on that suggestion or idea right away, if she seems like to shy away from it, don't force it. That's all I mean by making sure that you don't put her on the spot. Just simply allow her to take charge if that's what she seems to want, or if you've always tended to be the alpha in the bedroom thus far. If she needs any form of primping, like I said, do not be overbearing. Just simply ask her in straightforward fashion what her preference is, for positions, or whether or not she's ready, things of that nature. I think you get the point. I would like to move on now to number 6. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so you guys, number 6, give and get feedback. At the risk of making it sound like we're talking about a Starbucks customer satisfaction card, another thing that might help your goal to get your girl to relax more in the long term would be if you make it practice too. Once session is over, simply say something such as, well, that was great. Did it feel good for you too? I'm laughing because hopefully you're going to use your own less cheesy words. If it lets her know that A, you enjoyed yourself, and B, that again you're open to talking about it. I need you guys to remember, it's very important. This is not an overnight project. It depends on the girl, how easily she's going to open up, how quickly she's going to open up. Some girls take longer than other girls, okay? You need to be patient. Don't worry though. Don't worry. Don't dump someone because she's not opening up fast enough. If you do that, then you're just a prick. Okay, I'm sorry. But, not for this. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. Just relax. The more you've relaxed you are, the more relaxed she'll be. I don't know if you've noticed that there's been sort of a theme throughout what I've said about almost every single one of these points, and that is sort of the theme that if you do this, she'll be more apt to be like that too. She'll take her cue from you. I'm not saying that women all take their cues from men. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that people do that. When a person wants to be a certain way, they desire to be a certain way. Let's say they're really shy, but they really don't want to be shy. They want to be out there and talking to people and getting to know people. They want that so bad. When they're given the go ahead to do that, they get ecstatic. At least in their minds, they're it's a go ahead. It's an open door. It's a yes, I get to do this. I'm allowed to do this. It's okay to do this. So as long as she's not, completely closed off to all the stuff that we've just talked about, then this should be a good thing. That's pretty much it. So that said, I just want to wrap this up, and I want you to go out and enjoy the rest of your day. Have some time to do that. I can't wait to see you again. So have a great day, and yeah,